Listen to me. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what you didn't have. I don't care if your mom left. I don't care if your dad wasn't there. I don't care if you didn't grow up rich. I don't care if nobody believed in you, because at the end of the day, life don't care either. You got two choices. You can make excuses or you can get results. So let me make something clear. You can't have both. See, most people want success, but they don't want to sacrifice. They want change, but they don't want to be uncomfortable. They want a better life, but they don't want to fight for it. And when it doesn't happen easy, they start blaming their past, their parents, their job, the system, the economy. No, I was homeless. I ate out of trash cans. I failed, I cried, but I got back up. Because I understood something. Nobody's coming to save you. You are responsible. You got to stop pointing fingers and start pulling triggers on your goals. Your dreams are real. Your vision is valid. But the only way you're going to see it is if you stop making excuses. Excuses sound best to the person who's making them, but excuses don't build empires. Excuses don't raise families. Excuses don't win championships. Winners don't make excuses. Winners make adjustments. Winners make adjustments. You didn't get the opportunity you wanted. Create your own. You don't have the resources. Be resourceful. You don't have the support. Support yourself first. You got to go beast mode. You got to wake up every single day and declare, I'm not leaving this day empty-handed. I'm not leaving without progress. You got to make every single rep, every single call, every single hour count. You want the result, then earn it. Stop talking, stop hoping, start executing. No more complaints, no more waiting, no more excuses. You owe it to your family, you owe it to your family, you owe it to your future, you owe it to the younger version of you who believed this was possible. Get up, lock in. Put the excuses to bed and wake up the champion inside you, because the world doesn't need more excuses, it needs more finishers. It needs you, die. You keep talking about what you want. You keep saying, I want to be great. I want to be successful. I want to leave a legacy. But the moment the alarm goes off at 4 a.m., you're hitting snooze. You say, I'm tired. You say, I didn't sleep well. You say, it's cold outside. You say, I'll do it later. See all that talk? That's excuses. And excuses don't produce results. You don't get results. You don't get success from wanting it. You don't get it from talking about it. You don't get it from dreaming about. You get it from doing, from executing. From showing up day after day, even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when no one else sees the work you're putting in. Everybody got a story. Everybody got something they've been through. You think you special because life hit you hard? No, life hits everybody. Life don't care if your dad wasn't there. Life don't care if you got fired. Life don't care if you broke. Life don't care if you failed. Don't care if you fail. The only thing life responds to is action. You want results? Then show me the grind. Show me the late nights. Show me the early mornings. Show me the days where you didn't feel like doing it, but you did it anyway. Show me the pain, the sacrifice, the hunger, because that's where success lives, not in your excuses. Excuses are lies you tell yourself to feel better about not doing what you said you would do. You said you were going to start business. You said you were going to lose the weight. You said you were going to write that book. Where is it? Don't tell me your life got in the way. Don't tell me things came up. That's life. Life is full of things that come up. Life is full of distractions, full of obstacles. But champions make it happen anyway. They adjust, they adapt, they execute. You can't build a dream on what you were meant to do. You can't become great based on what you were about to do. Nobody cares about your almost. Nobody rewards your intention. What matters is what you did. Did you show up? Did you put in the reps? Did you stay consistent when the excitement wore off? See, the grind don't care how you feel. Your goals don't care if you're having a bad day. The results will only show up for those who show up for themselves. You want the spotlight, but you don't want the shadow. You want to be seen, but you don't want to be silent in the gym, in the classroom, in the lab, grinding when nobody is watching. Real work happens in the dark. Real work happens in the dark. It happens when nobody's clapping for you. Nobody's cheering you on. But you keep showing up anyway. Because you're not chasing applause. You're chasing results. And the only thing that brings results is execution. Execution on the days you feel good. Execution on the days you feel broken. Execution when you have support. Execution when you feel alone. I was homeless, slept in an abandoned building, ate out of trash cans. I had every reason to give up, every reason to quit. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't make excuses. I made a decision. Decision that no matter what, I was going to keep pushing. I was going to keep grinding. I was going to show up when life tried to knock me out. Because I knew this. As long as I kept executing, as long as I kept putting in the work, the results were coming. You gotta be so locked in that excuses don't even enter your vocabulary. When somebody asks you why you didn't do something, it can't be I forgot, or I got busy, or didn't feel like it. That language is for people who lose. You gotta say, I got it done. That's it. Whether it was hard or not, whether it took all night or not, whether I had help or not. Got it done. Because I said I would. Because I promised myself. Because I don't break my own word. Because I don't play with my future. The truth is, it's easier to make excuses than it is to be disciplined. It's easier to talk about it than to be about it. But the easy path, that's the one that leaves you stuck. That's the one that leaves you watching others live their dream while you wonder what happened to yours. But you don't have to stay there. You can make it stay there. You can make a choice right now. That from this moment on, you don't make excuses. You make moves. You don't talk potential. You show progress. You don't play the victim. You play to win. I need you to understand this deep. Nobody cares about your excuses but you. The world will reward the ones who produce, the ones who execute, the ones who do the work when it's not pretty. So you can keep telling yourself why you can't, or you can show the world that you can. But you can't do both. You can't be a legend and a liar. You can't be a finisher and a faker. Choose who you're gonna be. Because the clock is ticking and the world don't wait for people who keep saying it one day. That one day is today. No more talking, no more excuses. Just work. You gotta stop thinking that where you came from is where you're stuck. I don't care if you grew up in the hood. I don't care if your family never made it out. I don't care if no bottom line went to college, owned a business, or broke a generational curse. That does not define you. Define you. That does not control you. That's not who you are. That's just where you started. That's the starting line, not the finish line. And if you let that be the end of your story, that's on you, not your background. See, people will try to put you in a box because of your last name, your address, your test scores, your skin color, your accent, your income level. But listen to me, they don't get to write your story. You do. You are the author. You're holding the... And you better stop letting people, systems, history, and statistics write a chapter they ain't living through. Just because your dad gave up doesn't mean you have to. Just because your mom settled doesn't mean you got to. Just because you came from broken doesn't mean you stay broken. I was homeless, bruh. I was eating out of trash cans, sleeping in an abandoned building. People looked at me and saw a statistic. They saw a failure. But I didn't let that define me. I made a choice. I said I'm going to rewrite the script. I said I'm not going to pass the same pain down. I'm not going to live in the story that was handed to me. I'm going to write a new chapter with blood, sweat, and tears if I have to. And I did. Because I knew this. Your background might explain you, but it does not excuse you. Too many of you are using your past like a crutch. Oh, well, I didn't have both parents. Okay, I get it. Well, nobody ever showed me how to do it. Okay? I hear you. I didn't grow up with money. All right. But what now? You're going to sit there for the rest of your life and blame people who couldn't go back and fix it even if they wanted to. You're going to cry about the storm or build a boat and row your way out. Because I promise you, you got everything you need already inside you. But you're too busy looking back instead of looking in. I've met people who came from nothing. Like dirt poor villages, refugee camps, war zones, and they became doctors, lawyers, athletes, entrepreneurs, millionaires. Not because they were lucky, not because someone saved them, but because they believed something different than what they saw. They saw their circumstances, but they didn't surrender to them. They said, this might be where I started, but it ain't where I finished. You gotta adopt that mindset. You gotta say, I'm not a product of my environment. I'm a product of my decisions. Your past is a chapter, not the whole book. And sometimes it's the ugliest chapters that set up the most powerful turnarounds. I don't regret my pain. I don't regret the nights I went hungry, because those nights gave me hunger that money can't buy. That struggle built me. That pain gave me purpose. That loss gave me fuel. So stop hiding your past like it's something to be ashamed of. Own it. Flip it. Let it be the reason you grind harder than everyone else. Let it be the reason you never give up. Let me tell you something. You don't need perfect parents, a perfect education, or a perfect plan to be great. You need grit. You need that savage mentality, that I don't care how many times I fall down, I'm getting back up every time mentality. That no matter how dark it gets, I still got light inside me mentality. That I might have been born in the gutter, but my vision stays in the stars mentality. And don't let people with no vision speak limits over your life. Just because they couldn't do it don't mean you can. Just because they gave up don't mean you got to. Just because they think small doesn't mean you shrink your dream to make them comfortable. Your future is yours. Stop giving it away to opinions that won't matter 5 years from now. Stop giving your destiny to people who never walked in your shoes. If you want to change your future, change your focus. Stop looking at what you didn't get and start focusing on what you can give. Stop looking at what went wrong and start asking what you can do right now to make it better. Because as long as you're breathing, it's not too late. I don't care if you're 16 or 60. If there's breath in your body, there's purpose in your soul. You are not your mistakes. You are not your neighborhood. You are not your GPA. You are not your trauma. You are not your pain. You are not your doubts. You are not your fears. You are more. But you'll never know that until you stop letting your past bully your future. So stand up, wipe your tears, lace up your shoes, and start running toward the life you deserve. Because no matter what they told you, you got next. You say you got goals. You say you want to be rich. You say you want to be successful. You say you want to be the best in the game, the top of the mountain, the one they remember long after the lights go out. But let me ask you a real question. What are you doing every single day to get there? I'm not talking about the dream. Everybody talking about the dreams. I'm talking about the grind. I'm talking about the schedule. I'm talking about the reps. I'm talking about the discipline. Because let me tell you something. Goals don't mean nothing without discipline. Ambition is just noise without action. Hype without habits is hollow. It's discipline that builds champions. It's discipline that turns vision into victory. You don't get results because you want them. You don't get them because you pray for them. You don't get them because you cry about how bad you want it. You get results because you do the hard things, the boring things, the lonely things over and over again, even when you don't feel like it. That's discipline. Getting up at 4 a.m. when your body says sleep, saying no to the party because your goal said yes to the grind, turning off the distraction. Putting in the extra hours, saying I will when everybody else is saying I can't. You want to know why most people never get what they want? Because they let their feelings run their lives. They only work when they feel motivated. They only show up when it's convenient. Yeah. They only give effort when someone's watching. That's not discipline. That's emotion. Discipline don't care how you feel. Discipline says, do it anyway. Discipline says the work gets done whether you're tired, upset, discouraged, or uninspired. Discipline says I don't negotiate with my goals. If it's on the schedule, it gets done, period. You keep looking for a secret. You keep asking for a shortcut. There is none. It's just work. It's just discipline. That's the bridge. That's the difference. You think talent is going to carry you. No, talent's wasted without discipline. I've seen people with half the talent rise to the top because they had twice the focus, twice the consistency, twice the grit. I've seen gifted people lose because they were lazy. I've seen average people win because they never missed a day. And that's the thing. Discipline beats talent when talent stops working. Some of y'all are addicted to motivation. You keep waiting for that perfect song, that perfect YouTube clip, that perfect quote to get you fired up. Let me tell you something. That moment fades. Motivation wears off. But discipline, that's permanent. That's the foundation. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going. Discipline is showing up on the days when your mind is fighting you, when your legs are heavy, when your bank account is empty, when your friends quit, when the world is silent. But you're still grinding because your goals weren't just talk, they were a vow. You want a better body? You want a better body? You better be disciplined in the kitchen, disciplined in the gym. You want to build a business, then you better be disciplined with your time, disciplined with your energy, disciplined with your habits. You want better grades, better skills, better relationship. Same thing. There's no escaping it. There's no escaping it. Discipline is the price you pay. And the question is, are you willing to pay that price every day? Even when nobody is looking, even when nobody says thank you, even when nobody claps for you. I didn't become who I am. I was the smartest or the fastest or the most connected. I became who I am because I made a decision. I will out-discipline everybody around me. I will do what others are unwilling to do. I will wake up earlier. I will train harder. I will say no to excuses and yes to execution. I will master the boring. I will repeat the reps. I will stay locked in when the world is distracted because I don't care about hype. I care about results. And the only thing that guarantees results is relentless discipline. Some of y'all got goals that are way too big for the lifestyle you're living. You want a mansion, but you sleep in. You want millions, but you waste hours. You want influence, but you scroll all day. You can't have championship dreams with rookie discipline. The two don't match. You want something you're not willing to bleed for, and that's the problem. You say you're hungry, but real hunger looks like action. Real hunger shows up early. Real hunger sacrifices. Real hunger suffers. Real hunger says, I'll hurt now so I can shine later. I'm not telling you it's easy. I'm telling you it's worth it. And I'm telling you this, when you cross that bridge called discipline and you start seeing results, it will all make sense. Every early morning, every late night, every skip party, every extra rep, every time you said no to comfort and yes to consistency, it will all click. Because you'll realize you didn't just want it, you earned it. And when you earn it through discipline, nobody can take it from you. You keep waiting for the right time, waiting for the right moment, waiting for the perfect condition. But let me ask you something. What are you really waiting for? Every single day, you wake up with breath in your lungs. That's the only sign you need. That's the signal. That's the green light. You don't need a holiday. You don't need a new year. You don't need a Monday. You just need today. Because every day you wake up, you've been given another chance to get it right. Another chance to grow. Another chance to level up. Another chance to level up. Another chance to get closer to your goals, to who you say you want to be. And if you waste it, that's on you. Every day is an opportunity. You either seize it or you surrender it. You either rise or you retreat. You either grind or you give it away. You think growth happens in big moments. No, it happens in the small decisions you make when no one's watching. It's what you do when it's not exciting. It's what you do when it's not trending. It's what you do when it's just you, your habits, and your discipline staring back at you. You don't get better by chance. You get better by choice. You say you want to be great? Then you better treat today like it matters. Because too many of y'all treating your days like they're unlimited. Like you can just throw one away and get another one tomorrow. Let me tell you something, you don't know how many you got. Time is not your friend. Time don't owe you nothing. So every day you wake up and you decide to waste it, just know you're gambling with something you can't get back. You can lose money and earn it back. You can lose people and meet new ones. But time, once it's gone forever. So stop acting like you got forever. Now I hear people say it all the time. One day I'm gonna do this. One day I'm gonna change. No, you won't. You won't do it one day if you're not willing to do it today. One day turns into no day. Someday becomes never. What you do today tells me everything about what you're serious about. If it matters to you, it'll be on your schedule. If it matters to you, it'll be in your routine. If it matters, you'll do it whether you feel like it or not. That's how you get better. That's how you improve. That's how you grow. Not by waiting, but by working. You're not gonna wake up one day and just be better. It's a grind. It's repetition. It's waking up with a mindset that said, I might not be where I wanna be, but I'm gonna take one more step today. Just one. That's all it takes. You ain't gotta make a quantum leap. You just gotta take one more rep, one more page, one more mile, one more hour of focus, one more disciplined decision. And over time, that one more adds up. That's how people separate themselves. Not because they're lucky, but because they're intentional. You're waiting for motivation. I'm telling you, forget motivation. Motivation is temporary. You got to build systems. You got to build habits. You got to wake up and own your day before it owns you. Because let me tell you, life don't care about your dreams. Life don't care about your plans. Life will hit you with distractions, pain, setbacks, and losses. But the one thing you can control, the one thing life can't take from you, your effort today, that's yours. That belongs to you. And if you waste it, if you let it slip, then don't cry tomorrow when you're still stuck in the same place. You got people out there who are hungry, who are waking up and putting in work. While you sleeping in, they're already ahead. While you making excuses, they're making progress. While you watching videos about success, they're building success, and then you wonder why they win. You wonder why they elevate. It's simple. They don't waste days. They don't play with time. They understand that every 24 hours is a gift, and they squeeze every drop out of it. You should be doing the same. You got dreams? Then today is your chance to feed them. You got goals? Then today is your chance to fight for them. You got potential? Then today is your chance to prove it. Not with words, not with promises. With actions, with consistency, with decision, with discipline, with focus. Today ain't just another day. It's the most important day of your life because it's the only one you can touch. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is a mystery, but today, that's real. That's your battleground. That's your moment. You ain't competing with anybody else. You're competing with the version of you that stayed the same, the version of you that chose comfort, the version of you that talks but never follows through. And every day you get the chance to beat that version. Every day you get to choose progress over excuses. Every day you get to either build or break, rise or retreat, grow or coast. And I'm telling you, if you keep stacking up days with intention, with effort, with purpose, you won't recognize yourself in a year. So stop wasting time talking about what you're gonna do. Stop looking for signs. Stop negotiating with your greatness. You already got what it takes. You just gotta wake up, look yourself in the mirror, and decide that today I get better. No hype, no excuses, just results. You got a choice right here, right now. You either make progress or you make excuses. You can't do both. You can't say, I wanna win, and then follow that with a list of reasons why you can't. You can't say, I want to be successful, and then blame the weather, blame your boss, blame your parents, blame the government, blame your past, blame anything and everything except the one thing that's actually holding you back. You. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm trying to wake you up. Because as long as you keep choosing excuses, progress will keep walking right past you. Excuses are easy. Excuses are comfortable. Excuses feel good in the moment. They protect your pride. They defend your laziness. They let you off the hook. But here's the truth. Excuses build nothing. Excuses make nothing happen. Excuses are the language of average. And every time you open your mouth to explain why you didn't do it, why you didn't show up, why you didn't follow through, you're building a wall between you and your greatness. You are literally talking yourself out of your destiny. And for what? So you can feel okay about not putting in the work? I'm not saying you don't have challenges. We all do. Some of you come from nothing. Some of you got pain. Some of you lost people, got betrayed, got overlooked, got rejected. I get it. Life is hard. Life is unfair. But listen to me. So what? Pain is real, but it's not an excuse. Struggle is real, but it's not a permission slip to quit. You think you're the only one going through something? Nah. But the difference between the ones who rise and the ones who fall is that the successful ones feel the pain and push anyway. They see the obstacles and grind anyway. They face the hardship and keep moving anyway. They don't stop to explain why they can't. They use that energy to do it anyway. You want to know what separates the top 1% from the rest? It's not intelligence. It's not money. It's not talent. It's ownership. The ones who win take full responsibility for their lives. They don't outsource their effort. They don't delegate their discipline. They say, it's on me. If I want it, I got to go get it. If I fail, it's on me. If I succeed, it's on me. No excuses, no escape routes, no plan B, just result. And that mindset is what turns average into elite. That mindset is what takes you from being stuck to being unstoppable. But you still negotiating with your greatness. You still waking up and deciding whether or not today's the day you're gonna show up. You still acting like effort is optional. Let me be real with you. The world doesn't care about your excuses. The game doesn't care about your feelings. The universe rewards execution, not explanation. So the question is, how long you gonna keep telling that same story? You know the one. I could have been something. I would have been great if only I almost made it. Ian was gonna do it, but nah, enough of that. Enough of that. That story don't serve you anymore. That story is keeping you broke, broken, bitter, and behind. Progress ain't always pretty. It ain't glamorous. It ain't loud. Sometimes progress is just showing up when you're exhausted. Sometimes it's saying no to something tempting. Sometimes it's one tiny win after 100 failures. But it adds up. It builds. One day, one rep, one page, one decision at a time. And guess what? Every time you make progress, even just a little, that's a punch in the face to every excuse you've ever made. That's proof that your future is bigger than your past. That your purpose is stronger than your pain. You want to feel powerful? You want to take back control? Then stop explaining and start executing. Stop whining and start working. Stop posting and start producing. Every second you spend defending your limitations is a second you could have been expanding your potential. You've got greatness in you, but it's buried under a mountain of stories you keep telling yourself about why it's not your time, why you're not ready, why it's too late. No, what? Listen to me. It's not too late. It's not too hard. You're not too broken. But you do have to stop giving power to your excuses because they will kill your dream. They will rob your legacy, and you'll wake up one day with nothing but regret. Don't let that be your story. Choose progress. Choose discipline. Choose ownership. When it's hard, do it anyway. When it hurts, push anyway. When nobody's watching, grind anyway. You don't owe anybody an explanation. You owe yourself transformation. You don't need people to understand your journey. You need to walk it anyway. Today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today is the only chance you got to move forward. So take it. Don't look for permission. Don't wait for support. Don't lean on excuses. Stand on execution. Stand on execution. And when it's all said and done, let your results speak so loud that nobody even remembers the story you never told. You keep waiting on motivation like it's some magical force that's supposed to show up and carry you to your goals. Let me break it to you. Motivation is a liar. Motivation shows up when it feels like it. Discipline don't wait. Discipline don't negotiate. Discipline shows up even when the feelings don't. That's the difference between winners and everybody else. Winners don't rely on how they feel. They rely on what they've decided. And once you make a decision, once you lock in, discipline is what gets you through the days when motivation goes missing. You think the greats feel inspired every morning. You think champions roll out of bed excited every single day. No, but they show up every single day because they're not controlled by emotion. They're controlled by commitment. They made a promise to themselves and they kept it even on the hard days. That's discipline. Discipline is doing it. Discipline is showing up when your body says no and your goals say yes. Discipline is the muscle that pushes you through the mud when motivation is nowhere to be found. The problem is you keep waiting to feel ready. You keep waiting to feel hyped up, but hype fades. Feelings change. Some mornings you're not gonna want it. Some nights you're gonna be tired. And if all you got is motivation, you're gonna quit. You're gonna fold because motivation is soft. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is steel. Discipline is the anchor when the storms hit. Discipline is what wakes you up at 4 a.m. Discipline is what gets you in the gym when it's raining. Discipline is what keeps your hand on the plow when everyone else is partying, quitting, sleeping, and chilling. Discipline separates dreamers from doers. You can post quotes all day. You can listen to speeches all day. You can scream, "I want it," at the top of your lungs. But if you don't do it, if you don't take action, it's all empty noise. Motivation is loud. Discipline is silent. Motivation gets attention. Discipline gets results. Discipline don't care who's watching. It don't need an audience. It don't need applause. It don't need validation. It just needs a decision and a follow through. You either run your habits or your habits will run you. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying motivation's bad. It's a spark. It can start the fire, but the fire won't stay lit if you don't feed it. And what feeds it? Routine, habits, consistency, reps, daily execution. That's discipline. And discipline is built, not born. You build it by keeping promises to yourself. Small one, over and over. You build it when you say, I'm gonna do it, and you actually do it, even when nobody would know if you skipped, especially then. See, motivation wants the reward. Discipline does the work. Motivation wants the applause. Discipline wants the result. Motivation is loud and temporary. Discipline is quiet and permanent, and you gotta decide. Do you wanna look good or do you wanna be good? Do you wanna feel good today or be great tomorrow? Because most people choose comfort. And comfort don't produce greatness. Comfort don't write books. Comfort don't build businesses. Comfort don't break records. Comfort don't change lives. Discipline does. You're not gonna be successful because you want it. You're gonna be successful because you outworked everybody. You're gonna be successful because you trained your mind to show up on the days when it was easier to sit down. Because you trained your body to push one more rep, one more mile, one more hour when everyone else said, that's enough. You taught yourself to do the work even when the world was giving you every excuse not to. That's how you win. Not once, not twice, every single time. When you build discipline, you take the power back. You stop waiting. You stop hoping. You stop being reactive. You become dangerous. You become unstoppable. You start running your own program, not someone else's. You don't need a cheerleader. You don't need ideal condition. You don't need it to be perfect. You just need to execute. You just need to show up again and again until it's automatic, until it's part of who you are, until the version of you that used to need motivation becomes the version of you who gets results on demand. Let me ask you, what would your life look like if you stopped depending on your feelings and started depending on your grit? What would your future look like if you stopped chasing the high and started chasing that high? What could you build? Who could you become if you decided today that your emotions don't run you? Your values do? You want to rise? Get disciplined. You want to lead? Get disciplined. It. You want to dominate? Get disciplined. It's not sexy. It's not trendy. It won't get likes, but it will get results. The kind of results that change your life. The kind of results that leave no room for excuses, no space for regret, no doubt about who you are. Because once you become a person of discipline, there's nothing that can stop you. Not tiredness, not rejection, not setbacks, not failure. When discipline is your default, victory is just a matter of time. Everybody talks about what they want. Well, I want to be successful. I want to be rich. I want to be in shape. I want to be a leader. But most people don't want it bad enough. Most people want it until it gets uncomfortable. They want it until it costs them their Friday nights. They want it until it requires sacrifice. They want it until they have to wake up at 4 a.m., say no to distractions, and yes to discipline. And that's where most people stop. That's when the excuses show up. And let me tell you something. If you don't want it bad enough, you will always find an excuse. See, there's a difference between wanting something and being obsessed with. Or one is soft, or one is optional, or one is nice to have. But when you need it, like air, like water, like life itself, there ain't no room for excuses. There's only one thought. How do I get it? That's it. If a door's closed, you knock it down. If a path's blocked, you make your own. If the schedule's full, you find another hour. You do whatever it takes, because when you want it bad enough, you will find a way. I hear it all the time, but I don't have the time. Make time, but I don't have the resources. Get resourceful, but I don't know how. Learn how. The truth is, you're not missing anything. You just ain't hungry enough, because hunger makes you creative. Hunger makes you hustle. Hunger keeps you up late and wakes you up early. Hunger makes you forget what comfort even feels like. Hunger don't care about sleep, opinions, fear, or obstacles. When you want it bad enough, excuses sound like lies, even to your own ears. You look at the greats, and you think they got lucky. Nah, they were just relentless. They didn't give themselves permission to quit. They didn't need perfect conditions. They didn't wait for someone to tell them it was okay to start. They had a dream, and they chased it like their life depended on it, because it did. And I'm not talking about talent. I'm talking about fight, grit, heart. That's the stuff that separates the legends from the leftovers, because the ones who made it didn't always have the most, but they always gave the most. They gave their last ounce of effort, their last drop of energy, their last breath, because they made a decision. I'm not stopping until I get it. You got to get to a place where excuses disgust you, where average offends you, where comfort makes your skin crawl. Because the second you start settling for anything less than what you were created for, you're dying. Not physically, spiritually, your potential starts fading. Your fire starts dimming. Your purpose starts drowning in a sea of a maybes and the some days. And what ifs you either wake up and go after it like a savage, or you keep waking up making excuses and stay stuck where you've always been. The thing is, life is gonna test you. It's gonna throw pain, failure, loss, and chaos your way. And when that pressure hits, that's when the truth comes out. That's when we find out if you really want it, or if it was just talk, if it was just something cute to post on social media, or something deep inside your soul that you refuse to let die. Because if it's real, if you really want it, nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop you. Look at your life right now. Look at the things you say you want, be honest. If you really wanted it, you'd already be working on it. You'd already be moving toward it. You'd already be paying the price. But if all you've got is a list of reasons why you haven't started, why you quit, why you didn't follow through, that ain't a dream. That's an excuse. And excuses will lie to you. They'll comfort you today and leave you empty tomorrow. They'll rob you of time, confidence, momentum, and ultimately your greatness. So stop negotiating with your potential. Stop arguing with your destiny. Stop entertaining thoughts that give you permission to stay the same. You either move forward or you make peace with mediocrity. You either find a way or you find another excuse to delay your greatness. But don't you dare say you want it and act like you don't. Because your actions are louder than your words. If you want it, prove it every day. Through sweat, through pain, through sacrifice, through silence, through late nights and early morning, and lonely roads and relentless effort. If you want it bad enough, you won't need motivation. You'll be driven by purpose. You won't care who supports you. You'll support yourself. You won't need ideal condition. You'll make progress in the storm. Because when you want it like your next breath, when you crave it like survival, there is no excuse that can survive that kind of determination. You either find a way or you don't want it bad enough. You can say all the right things. You can talk the talk. You can post quotes on Instagram, tweet motivation all day, and wear t-shirts that scream a grind and a hustle, but none of that matters if your results don't match your word. Because results don't lie. You either did it, or you did it, or you did. You either showed up or you stayed home. You either executed or you made excuses. That's it. Black and white. No gray area. You can dress it up, sugarcoat it, explain it away. But the scoreboard don't care. Life keeps receipts. Your progress is the proof. The problem is too many people want to be recognized for intentions, not actions. They want points for trying. They want sympathy for effort. But effort without execution is just activity. Movement don't mean progress. You can run in circles all day and still be in the same place. You don't get rewarded for starting something. You get rewarded for finishing. You get rewarded when the job is done and done right. Until then, all the noise, all the excuses, all the reasons, they mean nothing. You say you're working hard. Okay, where are the results? You say you're committed. Then why are you still stuck in the same place you were last year? You say you want to change, but your habits haven't changed. Your schedule hasn't changed. Your circle hasn't changed. If nothing changes, nothing changes, nothing changes. And if you're not seeing progress, you got to be real with yourself. Stop blaming the system, your background, the weather, the government, your family, your friends, your job, your boss. Stop. Own it. Own every part of your life. Because as long as you're making excuses, you're giving away your power. Excuses are easy. They feel good. They protect your ego. They protect your ego. They let you off the hook, but they don't move the needle. They don't build your bank account. They don't change your body. They don't elevate your mind. Excuses are chains and you're holding the key. Every time you say, I can't, every time you say, I would, but you're locking yourself in that cage. And the longer you sit in that cage, the more comfortable it feels. Until you forget you were born to fly. You don't get to have both. You don't get to make excuses and expect results. It's either one or the other. You choose. Every single day, you make that choice. Every time you hit snooze, Every time you procrastinate, every time you make a promise to yourself and break it, you're choosing excuses. And those excuses, they don't just delay your progress. They destroy your credibility. First with others, then with yourself. You stop believing in your own words. You stop trusting your own commitment. You become the person who talks big and delivers small. But when you flip the switch, when you get obsessed with results, that's when the game changes. That's when you stop caring about being comfortable and start caring about being consistent. That's when you stop making decisions based on feelings and start making them based on standards. You stop asking, do I feel like it? And you start saying, I do it because I said I would. And that mindset, that's rare. That's dangerous. Because most people won't live there. Most people won't make that leap. They'll keep playing safe behind their excuses, watching the discipline rise. Results are the only thing that matter in the end. They're the evidence of your grind, the fruit of your sacrifice, the proof of your discipline, the proof of your discipline. You don't need to explain yourself when the results are out. You don't need to justify your journey when your progress speaks loud. When you put in the reps, the time, the sweat, the pain, you don't have to say a word. Your work ethic will testify for you. And don't get it twisted. This ain't about being perfect. It's about being honest. It's about looking at your life, your habits, your output, and asking, is this working? Because if it's not, you got two choices. Adjust your behavior or keep lying to yourself. Too many people want new outcomes without new effort. They want better results with the same old excuses. It doesn't work like that. Greatness isn't handed out. It's earned, and it's earned in silence. In the gym when nobody's watching. At your desk when everyone else is sleeping. In the daily, dirty, unglamorous grind. You think people just wake up successful? You think they're lucky? Nah, they made decisions you weren't willing to make. They sacrificed when you hesitated. They chose results when you chose excuses. You say you want it, but what are you willing to give up for it? Comfort, distraction, popularity? You can't have it all. Something's got to give. So make a choice. Right now, today, are you going to keep explaining why you haven't made it? Or to shut your mouth, get to work, and let your results scream so loud that nobody ever questions your grind again? You don't need to convince anybody. You don't need to beg for recognition. The world respects execution. The world pays results. The world follows those who do, not those who try. So stop explaining, stop excusing, and stop delaying. Put your head down. Lock in, get obsessed, and go get what's yours. Because when it's all said and done, it's not about what you meant to do. It's about what you actually did. Motivation is like a firework. It's loud, bright, and exciting for a moment, but then it fades fast. You get fired up watching that video, reading that post, or hearing that speech, but the next day, the spark is gone. It's not enough to keep you going. Motivation is powerful, but it's temporary. It's a feeling, and feelings change. Some days you feel it, some days you don't. You can't rely on motivation alone because it's not consistent. It's not steady. And if you want to get where you're going, you have to be consistent every day, no matter how you feel. That's where discipline comes in. Discipline is the quiet force that doesn't care about your mood or your mood swings. Discipline shows up when you're tired, when you're scared, when you don't feel like it. Motivation might push you one day, but discipline will push you every day. Discipline doesn't take breaks or wait for perfect timing. It's like a muscle you train. The more you work on it, the stronger it gets. When motivation fades, discipline takes over and keeps you moving forward. If you want real success, you have to build your discipline, because without it, you'll never outlast the ups and downs of motivation. Motivation is the spark, but discipline is the engine. The engine is what drives you long after the spark is gone. If you think about it, motivation is great for starting things. It gets you off the couch, out of bed, or through the door. Starting is easy. Finishing is what separates the winners from the losers. And finishing requires discipline. Discipline is what makes you keep grinding when everyone else is sleeping. Discipline is what makes you do the work when nobody's watching. Discipline is what turns good intentions into great results. You see, motivation is external. It comes from outside sources. A pep talk, a quote, a video, someone else's energy. It's temporary because it depends on things outside yourself. But discipline comes from within. Discipline is an internal commitment to your goals, to your vision, to your future self. It's a promise you make and keep even when it's hard, even when it hurts, even when you want to quit. That's why discipline is the ultimate key to success, because it's sustainable. Motivation will come and go, but discipline will carry you through. Most people mistake motivation for discipline. Discipline. They think, if I can just get motivated, I'll get things done. But motivation is unreliable. It's like riding waves. Some days are high, some days are low. Discipline is the steady current that moves you forward no matter the conditions. Discipline means you don't wait to feel like it. You don't wait for inspiration. You don't wait for the right moment. You do it because you said you would, because your future depends on it, because you respect your own word. Discipline also means making hard choices every day. It means saying no to distraction, no to temptations, no to excuses. It means showing up consistently, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient. It means prioritizing what matters over what feels good. And yes, it's hard. It's uncomfortable. It pushes you outside your comfort zone. But that's where growth happens. That's where champions are made. Because discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about doing what needs to be done day after day. When you build discipline, you build trust in yourself. You prove to yourself that you can be counted on. And that trust fuels more discipline. It's a cycle that grows stronger over time. You don't have to be motivated to get started, but you have to be disciplined to keep going. And when you do, you create unstoppable momentum. Momentum that pushes you past obstacles, past setbacks, past self-doubt. Momentum that leads to results. Think about the people who have achieved greatness. They didn't rely on motivation alone. They built routines, habits, and systems based on discipline. They showed up every day, rain or shine, good mood or bad mood. They put in the work consistently. That's why they succeeded. That's why they succeeded. Not because they were always motivated, but because they were always disciplined. That's the truth. If you want to be successful, you have to stop chasing motivation and start chasing discipline. Stop waiting for that feeling to come and go and start creating habits. That don't depend on feeling. So depend on feeling. Create a schedule. Stick to it. Make a plan. Follow it. When you fall off track, get back on immediately. Don't wait for motivation to return. Use discipline to keep moving forward. Because discipline doesn't care how you feel. It cares about what you do. And here's something else. Discipline breeds confidence. When you prove to yourself day after day that you can do what you say, you start believing in your own power. You start knowing that no matter what life throws at you, you have what it takes to handle it. Motivation can't give you that kind of confidence because it's temporary. But discipline builds resilience and strength. It builds a mindset of success. So remember, motivation is the feeling that gets you started. Discipline is the commitment that keeps you going. If you want lasting success, you need both. But discipline is the foundation. Without discipline, motivation is just a flicker. With discipline, motivation becomes a tool you use, not a crutch you lean on. Start training your discipline today. Get uncomfortable. Do the work when you don't want to. Show up even when you feel like quitting. Because that's what separates the people who dream from the people who do. That's what separates the talkers from the winners. And when you build discipline, you build a life that doesn't depend on temporary feelings. You build a life of consistent, unstoppable progress. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to kill your progress. It's a thief. It steals your joy, your confidence, and most importantly, your focus. When you start looking at what someone else is doing, what they have, how fast they're moving, you lose sight of your own journey. You get distracted, overwhelmed, and sometimes even discouraged. And here's the truth. No two paths are the same. No two stories are alike. You can't measure your beginning to someone else's middle or end. You don't know what they sacrificed, what struggles they faced, what failures they battled before they got to where you see them now. So why do you waste your energy comparing? Every single person is on a unique path. Your journey is yours. Battle, your wins, your lessons, they are yours and yours alone. When you start comparing, you're trying to shortcut your process by using someone else's story as a template. But life isn't a copy-paste. It's a custom, one-of-a-kind experience that demands your focus and energy in the present moment. When you get caught up watching others, you stop putting in the work you need to do. You stop grinding on your craft, sharpening your skills, and chasing your dreams. You become a spectator in your own life instead of the player. Comparison also breeds doubt. When you look at someone else's highlight reel, it's easy to feel like you're not enough. Why am I not there yet? Why don't I have what they have? What am I doing wrong? Those thoughts will paralyze you if you let them. They will make you question your worth, your ability, your purpose. But what you don't see are the nights they stayed up working, the failures they hid, the sacrifices they made. You only see the shiny results. Don't fall for the trap of envy and self-doubt. Instead, use other people's success as inspiration, not as a measuring stick for your value. When you focus on your own path, you gain clarity. You start to understand what you need to do each day to get better. You stop chasing someone else's goals and start defining your own. That clarity creates confidence and momentum. You learn to celebrate your small wins, your progress, your growth. And those little victories add up faster than you think. Because success isn't a destination, it's a journey. And it's a journey you have to walk in your own shoes. You also learn patience when you focus on your own path. Progress doesn't come overnight. Growth is slow and steady. It's a process filled with ups and downs. When you're too busy comparing, you get frustrated because you don't see instant results. But when you zero in on your own lane, you start trusting the process. You realize that every step forward, no matter how small, is building something bigger. You build resilience because you're not distracted by what others are doing. You're focused on your own transformation. Comparison keeps you stuck in a cycle of distraction and dissatisfaction. You want to be grateful for what you have, but you're too busy wishing for what someone else had. You want to be motivated, but you're paralyzed by envy. You want to grow, but you're constantly looking sideways instead of moving forward. That's why the most successful people I know protect their minds like a fortress. They focus on their own goals, their own progress, and their own grind. They don't have time to compare because they're too busy building. Remember, comparison steals your power. When you compare, you give away your energy and your focus. You dilute your potential. You stop being the best version of yourself. But when you shut out the noise and focus inward, you unlock your true strength. You tap into your unique talents, your unique experiences, your unique perspective. It's where greatness lives. Not in trying to be someone else, but in being the best you can be. If you want to make progress, you have to master the art of focus. Focus on